3 weeks ago this morning, I sat right there, back there in my white robe, my gray talit, my flowered kippah, my high holiday machzor in hand. I closed my eyes, took a deep breath in, and I gently leaned my head back against those cushioned chairs. And as the awe-inspiring notes of the cello began to reverberate off the walls of this sacred space, the melody of Kol Nidre overwhelmed my heart, flooded my eyes with tears, and transformed a random Monday morning into the holiest day of the year. Well, maybe not the holiest day of the year, but despite the camera crews, sound equipment, copious mic checks, and a slate reading High Holidays, Take One, this otherwise ordinary musical recording introduced with a Please Rise and followed by a Please Be Seated officially became, for me, the High Holidays, or at least our first take. Unlike any other time in my life that I can recall, the past few months latent with rehearsals, recordings, visioning sessions, and photo shoots has utterly altered my sense of what it means to be truly mindful of every single detail put into creating and implementing a vision and bringing it to life. Remind you, I have yet to plan a wedding. But what if life really did allow for us to take the time to practice, to pre-record, to re-record, and truly vision mindfully all of our actions, words, and potential outcomes ahead of time? What if we genuinely could have a dress rehearsal of those moments in life that we sincerely wanted to be perfect? But not just those moments, all of our moments. How many times a week, a day even, do you wish that you could have said something differently, acted otherwise in any given situation, or understood someone else's reaction in another way? So often, if you're like me, I think, had I only taken time to choose the exact right words, or set the stage perfectly ahead of time to avoid any miscommunication or unintended outcomes for my actions? How often do you think back and say, God, I wish I would have thought that through more completely so I wouldn't have hurt someone so important to me? For all of these examples and about 1 million more a day, wouldn't you love a chance for a take two? On Yom Kippur, we are given this second chance. Our liturgy reminds us through tefillah, tzedakah, and teshuvah, prayer, compassion of the heart, and repentance, that we are each granted a holy redo, a second opportunity to repair our mistakes, to heal the hurts that we have caused, and the time to attempt to right the wrongs that we have brought into this world. If for no other time throughout the whole year, Yom Kippur demands our attention to bring light into the dark spaces that we have created ourselves through our misguided actions, irresponsible behaviors, and thoughtless deeds. As the shofar calls our heart to take heed, God commands the Jewish people on Yom Kippur to shuv, return, to B'Tselem Elohim, to the souls that God created in God's very own image, that God implanted within each one of us to bring love into this world. But we don't have to wait for Yom Kippur to ensure that the ways in which we show up is within this world and within our relationships, that it's consistent and worthy of God's intentions for humanity. We don't get a dress rehearsal for this holy day, nor any other day of the life, but we do get today and each and every day to make sure that every action, reaction, encounter, and engagement that we live are satiated and saturated with kindness, honesty, mindfulness, and intention. Every day we are blessed to be alive. We are gifted with a new opportunity to make every single moment count. As our text says, Elohai nishama shenatata bi. Adonai, the soul you have given me this morning is a pure one. You created it, shaped it, and breathed it into me, renewing my chance to make today holy and blessed. We must not wait until Yom Kippur to take advantage of this daily miracle called life. We must choose, as we are commanded in the Torah, to make every second of our lives count, every relationship we engage in holy, and every breath we are given serve the greater world with love. I can only imagine that our world and our relationships and our hearts would look and feel a whole lot differently if we really could only plan ahead and be mindful of how powerful our thoughts and actions are when played out in this world and with the people who surround us. How different this world would feel politically, socially, emotionally, and relationally if we could only guarantee that our actions and words would be taken in context, with kindness, and understood with the best of intentions. What if laws were written and enacted with all foreseen loopholes, exceptions, semantic alterations, or hidden language removed? What if ahead of time we could be positive that once enforced, that these were used in a way that they were written to be intended to serve our people? How much more healthy would our world be spiritually, physically, and emotionally if we recognize that we don't get another chance, no dress rehearsal, no do-over, for us to eat well, practice self-care, spend time in nature, listen to music, connect with something larger than ourselves? And what if people we loved knew exactly how we felt in the words and through the actions that spoke directly to their hearts? How wonderful would it be to connect with another human being without frustrating misunderstandings and hurtful miscommunications or unexpressed love and gratitude? Can you imagine how different it would be if, at the end of our lives, everything we needed to say, everything that ever needed to be said, was understood and appreciated, repaired, and meaningfully emoted? We wouldn't need a take two to say goodbye to our loved ones. Everything would have already been spoken. We truly could utter the phrase, "Rest in peace," and mean it for ourselves and for those who pass on. Robin Sharma says, "Don't live the same year 75 times and call it a life." And I echo his sentiment. Each year when we hear the resonating music of Kol Nidre played on the cello and connect our past with creating our desired future, each day when we are faced with making the same mistake twice, but choose to learn from our experience and not repeat our wrongdoing, each moment when we inhale our renewed breath and are reminded of the greatest gift we will ever be given, we have to say to ourselves, why wait for a second chance to truthfully and authentically make our words, our actions, and our feelings known by all who we love? Live now. Live in this moment. We all know that there is no dress rehearsal and no second takes or third or fourth or fifth to make our lives significant and meaningful. So on this Yom Kippur, today, let us hear the echoes of last night's Kol Nidre and let it serve as a wake-up call for us to take hold of what we want from our lives and within our relationships. And let us make the decision here and now that we will not wait until next Yom Kippur to begin living each moment as our only opportunity to do and to say and to be all that we want in this life. Let's make today and every day count. The Jewish New Year, take one. Ken Yehi Ratzon, may this be God's will.